Hello, and welcome to POMA Does, a podcast produced by the Pennsylvania Osteopathic Medical Association. We provide a voice for osteopathic medicine and share insights on issues important to osteopathic physicians, residents, and students, as well as those who embrace the osteopathic philosophy. POMA's mission is to promote the distinctive philosophy and practice of osteopathic medicine in Pennsylvania for our members and their patients. Thanks for tuning in.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of POMA DOes podcast series sponsored by the Pennsylvania Osteopathic Medical Association. I'm Dr. Katie Graham, a board member and trustee at large for District 12, who graduated from LeCom in 2013 and currently a practicing hospitalist. Today, we're spotlighting the educational program of this year's POMA's Clinical Assembly. And with me today are members from the Clinical Assembly Education Committee. I have Program Chair Dr. Ken Veit, committee members Dr. Craig Frankel and Amanda Velia. Dr. Veit, can you share some of your favorite sessions and topics for this year's program?
Favorite sessions are really tough to pick out, but I can tell you that when I look at the agenda, I am so impressed that we are attempting to get the balance between very hard medical topics that we all need, and also share that with the softer topics that we have to utilize in our practice. And that balance is really important. And certainly we have the hard medical topics such as cardiology, pulmonary medicine, endocrinology, et cetera, but we do balance it with some other interesting topics that I'm really waiting and anxious to hear. One of those topics will be the opioid crisis, which never seems to be going away, but there's always a nuance in dealing with the opioid crisis. This year, I think one of the nuances is that Suboxone is now available to all practitioners without going through extra training. What does that mean to our practice? Does that mean we want to incorporate Suboxone into the practice? What's the complexity of it? These questions will be addressed by our speaker. There will also be a panel discussion of what is the state of the art. We all know that this epidemic is a scorn on our communities, and we as practitioners for our communities, we really need to, address this issue in some manner. Another hot topic, which is not the hard medicine, but sort of the softer side, is the microaggression in our society today. We have a lot of health disparities. There's a lot of anger at times between all kinds of flavors and people and other parts of our community. And we're looking for tools. And hopefully our speakers will provide us with tools that we can use to try to make our communities, our practices, our interaction with our patients in a safe space. And our keynote speaker is Heather Hansen this year, and she will really teach us how to advocate for ourselves and for our patients and for our communities. We also never lose sight of the mental health problems in our practices. We all know if we're in primary care, many of our medical issues are compounded by the mental health issues of our patients. And then we also have a current topic of sports medicine. And I think everybody realizes that sudden death in athletes happened this year with an NFL player. It made top news, but it's not just NFL. It could be at the high school football game. And as community doctors, we might be at that football game. And what is the state of the art of medicine for sports athletes? Those are the kind of topics I'm really looking forward to hearing from. Again, there are 40 different lectures. They will end up with 35 category A1 credits. And again, I think this convention will exceed expectations as far as the topics and the community of us getting together, enjoying our companionship. So I look forward to it. Thank you, Katie.
Yeah, thank you. That sounds like such a great program. There's a ton of new information out there that we definitely all need to stay on top of, and that's a great way to do that, especially all in one place. And it's very exciting to be able to get live AOA credits on patient-safe opioid and child abuse education credits for licensure. Dr. Frankel, can you share a bit about how the program comes together?
Yeah, so I was thinking about this. I was introduced to this committee in 1992 by a colleague of mine, Jerry Scharf. It's interesting. This committee starts really shortly after the last year program ends. Just within a couple weeks, we begin to try to build out and put together next year's program. The way we do that is first we take our audience in consideration and take all their feedback from the prior conference. We look very carefully at the feedback from the prior speakers, making sure they identify with the audience. We look at the prior topics over the last several years to make sure we're not really repeating similar topics year to year. We look at audience feedback as to what they would like to hear, and we try to incorporate topics that they're interested in. And also importantly, we look at more on a national level of health reports and issues in medicine current today and try to pull some of those topics and incorporate that into our program. We try to look to make sure we provide information for the practitioner for new diagnosis, treatment, changes in guidelines, new guidelines. And of course, as Dr. Veit mentioned, we try to bring in real current issues. I know I moderate cardiology, and one of our topics is sudden death in a cardiac athlete, as to what happened with Damar Hamlin this year. We have a speaker that not only will go over the differential diagnosis of sudden cardiac death, but I think most importantly, talk about how to screen that high school athlete, what one would need to look for and what would be a contraindication to participate in athletics, not just at the high school level, the college level, etc. And I think that is very, very practical information to our practitioners out there. When we build a program, we try to build it with all specialties in every practice. Faculty-wise, we try to get people in various levels of practice, early in practice, late, mid-year career, late in the career. We try to draw from private practitioners. We try to draw from people in academia, even in people in the military. Also, we'd like to highlight the fact that it is a 34 credit program. We're very careful in wanting to try to meet guidelines for license renewal. We want to be careful to make sure you get your child abuse credits, your opioid credits, your patient safety credits. And as I tell you, we've talked about before, this is the best bang for your buck for 34 credits, in my opinion. It's a wonderful program. It's very competitive on a national level.
The topics are really what I need and want to hear. And you're absolutely right. It's a great deal. Dr. Velia, this year's format is a little different than prior years. Can you help me prepare for the 2023 POMA Clinical Assembly?
Certainly. This year, we're starting a new chapter at the Kalahari Resort and Water Park in the Poconos. We're excited to be entirely live and in person from May 3rd to May 6th. You'll be able to catch up with your friends and classmates, talk one-on-one with our speakers, and learn from your peers. All the while, we'll have the opportunity to enjoy the water park with our families. Everyone who makes a room reservation is awarded 4 tickets to the water park, and so everyone will have a great time and enjoy themselves. We have an additional option to view the conference afterward as a remote on-demand option. We have a videographer who's going to record the lectures, and they will not be live streamed. They'll be recorded. They'll be able to be viewed May 15th through June 15th. And the platform will track your progress, just like in previous years, and provide you with access to all the speakers so that you can have, at your leisure, access to those 1A credits. And just to reiterate, POMA is complying with all the accreditation requirements to ensure both the live in-person option and the virtual on-demand option, that they both offer the Category 1A AOA CME credits that we all need. Like with most things, the CME world has changed as a result of the pandemic. The interactive online education that POMA is offering will be awarded the 1A credit, including the courses that qualify for patient safety, opioid, and child abuse credits.
It sounds like POMA is offering the credits in the format that works best for me at this year's clinical assembly, which is awesome.
That's certainly true. POMA prides itself on offering high quality, affordable, and accessible osteopathic education. And as we mentioned a little earlier, the credit value is fantastic. For just $17 per credit, we are the most affordable option in the country. Most CME is at least $40 per credit. It'd be crazy to look anywhere else for your CME needs. As a reminder, early bird pricing ends on April 1st, so register today. Go to our website, www.poma.org/POMA23. You won't regret joining POMA at the Kalahari Resort either in person or virtually this spring.
Thank you all for sharing this great information about the upcoming clinical assembly. I'm excited about the program and will definitely register today. I look forward to seeing you in May.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of POMA Does. Be sure to subscribe to POMA Does wherever you listen to your podcasts, and tell your friends and colleagues to tune in. Learn more about osteopathic medicine and POMA on our webpage, www.poma.org. www.poma.org and join the conversation on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube, or email us at poma@poma.org. We'd love to hear from you. Join us next time for another edition of POMA Does.